This is what Wolves in Finance has to say today, and I have a response.
I believe there is a secret plot to impeach Donald Trump. I hope that you watch this video all the way through, because unless something changes, I think there's a real possibility that their plan is going to work.
I hope it does.
A number of Democrats have been caught on tape talking about plans to impeach Donald Trump. Here's Congresswoman Brittany Peterson from Colorado.
Congresswoman, our next question is an online question, and it comes from Erlinda. Erlinda asks, will you vote to impeach the president?
It is highly unlikely that in the minority that there will be a path, but we are building our case. We are building the Oversight Committee is working on making sure that they're building up their ability to utilize the Oversight Committee as soon as we have power, their subpoena power, and what we can do to ultimately move forward to impeach Trump.
She says that they are already building an Oversight Committee to impeach Trump that will go into place if the Democrats assume power in the midterms. Here's Congresswoman Bonnie Watson-Coleman.
But I tell you what, if you elect Democrats to the Senate and to the House, they'll get impeached. Yeah. And that's one thing.
Which honestly, aren't we so tired of these fucking Republicans and Democrats claiming that they're going to do something when you elect them to office and then they don't do it? None of it. I'm fucking fed up, dude. We need to start electing independents, okay? The independents, even though they're not going to be funded by AIPAC and, all the billionaires and all the different lobbying groups. Who fucking cares? The money shouldn't matter. It shouldn't matter how much money you can raise for your campaign. What should matter is what the people want. And what the people want, we will get. We will. We will get it. We just need to wake the fuck up and realize neither of these teams give a fuck about us. None of them. Unless you're an independent, I will never vote for you again. Ever.
She is saying that Trump is going to be impeached. This is already being planned. I want to explain the impeachment process so that you understand what they are about to do. In the American political system, impeachment is really about popularity.
I love how Zach says
it really doesn't matter what you do. If you are popular, you're not going to be impeached.
And he's not popular.
We saw this during Trump's first term. He was impeached twice by the Democrat-controlled Congress, first for the phone call about Ukraine, and second for the January 6 riots. But it meant absolutely...
It meant nothing. But he was popular then. Now? Just wait.
Nothing. Nothing happened. Because for impeachment to take effect, it goes to the Senate, where they have a trial, and 2/3 of the senators need to vote for conviction and removal from office. 2/3 vote is a really high hurdle. Donald Trump, who is popular, is not going to lose that vote.
No, he's not.
No Republicans voted against Donald Trump. But the whole calculation changes if the president loses popularity. Because suddenly, Republican senators who were previously afraid to vote against the president might decide to flip their vote. So let's look at how Donald Trump is doing in the polls.
Yeah, let's look at
Obviously, the main conversation right now is the conflict in Iran. Operation Epic Fury started with the U.S. strikes on Iran on February 28, 2026. So we've only been in conflict for 2 weeks. The polls are really all over the place, so it's hard to get a good picture of public opinion. I know that some people are trying to say that Americans are very opposed to the war. Others are saying that people support the war. I disagree with everyone. I think people are skewing the data to fit what they want to be true. I have looked at a lot of the polls, and what they're telling me is that most people are ambivalent. They don't know what they think about the conflict.
Oh, we do.
What are we learning, which is...
We don't know what we think about the conflict. How about let's do some real polling and find out, okay? How about let's stop just reading these mainstream media narrative polls that are put out to fucking manipulate the public. to manipulate the people into thinking that we actually support what's going on right now.
Perhaps it's not so much of a surprise when just 45% of Americans say they care a lot about the Iranian situation, that the president's overall approval rating is the same. It's the same. It was 41% before the current war in Iran started, and it is 41% now. So despite, again, all the hubbub, despite all the critics of the president of the United States, what we are seeing right now is a president whose approval rating is steady, and
That's
this
a joke.
This
This is
has
a joke.
not been a big deal politically, electorally speaking.
Trump's approval rating remains flat. The
If you
Iran
believe
conflict
that,
has not.
if you really believe that, you are a fucking moron. If you really believe that, you're a fucking moron. And we're gonna read through these comments after, because this is fucking bullshit. It really is. It's a lie.
Really affected him
And we, the people, know it. Okay, the smart people that actually are paying attention, we know this is not true.
yet. Let me explain why this is a bad thing. The one thing we know about conflicts is that approval ratings tend to drop over time. The public has not really felt negative effects from the Iran conflict yet.
Oh, we haven't?
But they are going to.
We haven't?
And when they
I'm pretty sure that we have. I'm pretty sure my mother got 100 gallons of oil the other day, and it was $200 more than it was last month. Pretty sure that we're all feeling the effects of the war, whether personally at home in our own household are feeling it or not, we're fucking feeling it.
do, these polling numbers
Unreal.
are likely to drop. We can go back to George W. Bush during the Iraq War. This is a chart from Pew Research of Bush's approval rating. You can see it was really high after 9/11. It was high again when the conflict in Iraq started, and it dropped over time. Here's when he announced mission accomplished, but the fighting continued in Iraq and his rating dropped. This is a 25 percentage point drop. Then throughout the rest of his term, it drops another 25 points, which is why it makes sense that Obama won the following election for the Democrats. So if we go back to Trump's approval rating, he is currently at 41%.
I don't even believe that.
We know his rating is likely to drop
don't
as
even
the
believe
conflict
that.
continues. If he drops 25%,
Who are these people polling? Like, who are these fucking people polling? Because this is not true. He's not even at 41% right now. I guarantee you, everyone I talked to that voted for this man is absolutely, completely disgusted by his behavior, by his actions, and by his words, and feel like he has abandoned his voters. So it's just fucking ironic that they have these high polling numbers. But anyway, carry on,
points.
Zach. Carry on.
he is in serious trouble.
Your propaganda campaign.
Just to put this in context, here's the poll from the New York Times that shows support of the conflict in Iran is at 41%. Compare that against other wars. World War II was 97%. Afghanistan War was 92%. Persian Gulf War was 82%. These other wars started at a high popularity and then reduced over time as the public started feeling the effects. The Iran conflict is starting at 41%. Trump has nowhere to go but down. Let's remember what happened during the other impeachment scandal in the U.S., Richard Nixon. Now, Richard Nixon was not impeached. He voluntarily stepped down. But impeachment was coming because they had enough votes in the Senate with both Democrats and Republicans that were going to vote for impeachment. The history books will tell you that the reason for the impeachment was the Watergate scandal, where Richard Nixon attempted to interfere in the FBI investigation. But that's not really what happened. He was impeached because he had low popularity. Even with the Watergate scandal, Richard Nixon would have survived if he was still popular. Here's Nixon's job approval rating. When he hit 25%, it was over for him. It doesn't matter what the scandal was. He could have been impeached on anything. 25% job approval
My fucking dog. Oscar, where'd you go? You better not be loose. I think he got loose again.
is the magic number when a president is going to be impeached, because that is the point when people will start voting against him. In U.S. history, there are only 3 presidents who have dropped below 25% job approval.
Let me say right now, if the Republicans want to win this next fucking midterm, then they would come out right now and tell the American people that they stand with us and not with what the president is doing right now, because what the president is doing right now is committing crime after crime after crime, and he has absolutely betrayed his voters. And if they even stand a chance at winning, they need to come out right now and say, I do not stand with President Trump. I stand with the American people who voted me into Congress to represent them, not the president. They don't work for the president. They don't work for the president. They work for the people. They're supposed to work for the people, not the president. My dog is loose. I gotta get him.
Truman, Richard Nixon, and George W. Bush. Harry Truman reached 25% during the Korean War. He was not impeached because this was the end of his term anyway. This was after World War II had ended, and people did not want another war. As a Democrat, he was voted out and replaced by the Republican Dwight D. Eisenhower. Richard Nixon reached 25%, and he was impeached. George W. Bush reached 25% during the 2008 financial crisis. This was also at the end of his term. As a Republican, he was voted out and replaced by the Democrat Barack Obama. Donald Trump is at 41% right now. If he drops 16 percentage points, that puts him at a 25% job approval. He only needs to lose 16%. That puts him into the impeachment range. So what was it?
If they reported correctly on polling numbers, he is already in the impeachment range. Come on, dude. Are you serious? Come on, Oscar. I found him. Here he comes. Come on, Oscar.
That made Nixon so unpopular. I would argue that it wasn't Watergate. Watergate by itself would not result in a 25% job approval.
Hey.
What else was going on at that time? Less than 1 year before Nixon resigned, the Yom Kippur War begins in the Middle East between Israel and the Arab nations. In retaliation, the Arab nations in OPEC stopped the flow of oil. Does any of this sound familiar? The oil embargo caused oil prices to quadruple globally. There were long lines at the gas stations. Gasoline prices jumped 40%. This created massive inflation because the price of all goods had to increase to account for higher shipping costs. This caused the U.S. to go into recession. The Yom Kippur War was the reason that Nixon was at 25% job approval. It was the war that caused Nixon to resign, not Watergate. Do you see the parallels with Trump's current situation?
I do, Zach.
Let's just walk through what would happen.
The parallels.
If Trump gets impeached, that means that J.D. Vance becomes the next president.
Now Zach's going to walk us through this terrifying, what's the word? Possibility of what could happen if Trump is impeached now, okay? So listen to this.
J.D. Vance then gets to select his own vice president.
Incorrect.
I suspect
That's not correct.
that one person who is on his short list to be vice president is Erica Kirk.
I don't believe that's correct.
If Erica Kirk becomes the next vice president, and the same thing happens to J.D. Vance that happened to her last husband, that means that Erica Kirk could become the next president of the United States without receiving a single vote. I don't think people realize that this is a real possibility. Let me walk you through the numbers of how this could happen.
Oscar,
there are 100 total U.S. senators. Impeachment requires 2/3 vote in the Senate to pass. They need 67 votes to impeach. Here's how the Senate currently breaks down. There are currently
doesn't the Speaker of the House become vice president if the president's impeached and then J.D. Vance becomes president? I don't think he gets to pick. I'm actually going to research that right now because I don't think he gets to select his vice president.
5 Democrats and 2 independents who would also vote with the Democrats.
No, look.
My estimate is that the Democrats are going to pick up 3 additional seats in the midterm elections.
If not
this would
more.
Make the total Democrat vote 50.
They'll pick up more than that.
They obviously cannot get up to 67 votes on their own.
If anyone is like me and thinking the same way that I am, we are fucking pissed that President Trump, I can't even call the man a president. He's the most unpresidential president we've ever had at this point. He's completely done a complete 360 from who he claimed to be and represent in his first campaign, in his first presidency. And he completely has spit in every person who has ever survived an SA. Okay? He's spit in our fucking faces. He has slapped us across the face and then basically said it's a hoax. It's a hoax. No. A Democrat hoax at that, from someone that used to be a Democrat. Trump was not always a Republican. He was a Democrat one time. So you want to call it a Democrat hoax, buddy? You better include yourself in that little Democrat hoax, okay? But if anyone is thinking the same way I am, which I see every single day, the majority of people that I even follow online or talk to on a regular basis, they are thinking the same thing I am. We're fucking pissed. You betrayed us, Trump. You betrayed your voters. Why should we stand by you? Why should we support you? Why should we get out and vote for Republicans in the next election? The Republicans should be ashamed of themselves for literally trying to cover up the biggest trafficking. It's the biggest thing in our history, okay? That I can't even fucking talk because I'm so pissed. And also, like, having to censor yourself at every fucking step of the way. It's infuriating and it's tiring. But literally trying to cover up the biggest thing that this country would ever face and ever go through. And then literally, like, incriminate nobody. Tell us that there's no evidence to arrest or investigate anybody when that's a fucking hoax in itself. That's a hoax. That's the hoax right there. That there's no evidence. There's no evidence to actually do anything for anybody, to anybody, about anybody. There's no evidence. That's the biggest hoax right there. And then they release all the evidence. Are you fucking kidding me? Fuck you. I'm so sick of Democrats and Republicans. They don't stand for us. They don't give a shit about us. They go into office with $3,000 to $30,000 in their fucking bank accounts and they come out with 30 million. How is that representing the people? They just don't. They don't. And I'm sick of it. And I won't ever vote a Republican or Democrat ever again. Independent only. And even then, you need to prove to me that you actually are going to represent your constituents and not the big gov, big tech, big fucking pharma, big food, big everything. No. What about the people? You support America and America only. Nothing else. Or you don't get my vote. And I know a lot of people that stand with that right there. That fucking very argument I just made. A lot of people they're not going to vote. They're just not.
But what happened with Richard Nixon is that Republicans started to flip and say they were going to vote with the Democrats. Out of the 50 remaining Republicans after the midterms, I can identify 10 Republican senators that definitely do not like Trump.
I bet it's
I'm
more
not
than
going to
that.
list out their names, but it's pretty easy to figure out based on their record. So there are 10 people who would easily vote with the Democrats to impeach Trump. That brings the vote total up to 60. They are only 7 votes short from impeachment. Out of the remaining 40 Republicans, I would identify 10 senators that are strong Trump supporters. They would never vote against Trump.
I'm going to ask right here. Let's see. What are if a president gets impeached, who selects the new president and vice president? How does that arrangement go? If a president is removed after impeachment and conviction, the vice president becomes president automatically. No one selects a new president in that moment. The next vice president is then chosen separately by the new president and must be confirmed by a majority vote of both houses of Congress. Okay. Once the vice president becomes president, the vice presidency is vacant. The new president nominates someone to fill the vacancy, and both the House and Senate must confirm the nominee by a majority vote. Oh. Wow. Who is next in line after the vice president? I didn't know that.
Leaves 30 senators that are unknown. The big question is, out of those 30 senators, would 7 of them flip and vote for impeachment? Now, if you think I'm crazy about all of this, listen to this interview by Republican Chris Christie talking about Trump.
So I want to know, what do Republicans say to each other when we're not listening about what's happening in America right now.
Look, so many of my fellow party members, especially come up to me because I say all this stuff out loud, and they in the green room at ABC, you're so brave. That's so great. I totally agree with you. He's nuts. And then they go out on camera to be interviewed. They are the greatest president since Abraham Lincoln. You know? And then they come back in the green room and they say to me, you know, I have to do that, but like I don't really mean it. That's what they say.
Like who specifically?
I think his face looks black. Chris Christie's face looks fucking black. Like it's got this grayish, blackish tone to it. These people are not fucking human, dude. I don't get a human vibe from a lot of these people. They literally look like they are wearing makeup and prosthetics and all these different cosmetics to make them appear to look like somebody they're not.
Give you all the names, but I'll give you one. Lindsey Graham.
Lindsey Graham sucks Donald Trump's dick daily. What are you talking about?
He uses the example of Lindsey Graham, who is a Republican senator.
Who supports
Just
Trump
so you
completely.
know, I've not even included Lindsey Graham in my list of 10 Republican senators who do not like Trump. He is in addition to that. So what we are considering is whether there are 7 senators who are like Lindsey Graham who claim to support Trump, but are really snakes in the grass. Are there 7 senators who would vote against Trump if he hits 25% job approval? I think absolutely yes.
I don't think
I want to emphasize my original point.
25% job approval.
Impeachment is about popularity. It is still possible for Trump to reverse course and turn this all around.
I don't think so.
If Trump remains at 41% job approval,
I don't think he could.
He's not going to be impeached no matter what he does. Trump can still avoid impeachment if he starts to make the right decisions.
Approval,
but if gas prices go up 40%, he is in trouble.
It's a lie. George Webb wants us all to believe Trump's approval rating is actually higher and at 60% job approval. Okay? So not 40%, 60%, which is a fucking lie. And I'm going to prove it to you right after this video.
Those problems are more significant than people realize. From my personal experience, I get the opportunity to talk with a lot of different people because of this YouTube channel. And I can tell you that people are upset. Trump's biggest supporters are turning against him. And that's something you don't normally see.
Dude.
In the past, Trump used to be able to rely on these dedicated supporters who would back him up no matter what.
Idolizing a president is satanic.
Those people.
Why, like, in Trump we trust? Are you kidding me? Idolizing a president? Idolizing a celebrity? Idolizing anybody other than Jesus Christ is a demonic, satanic thing. Please, people, stop that shit. It's disturbing beyond belief. Have a brain to think for your fucking selves. In Trump, we trust. Well, unfortunately, he doesn't trust us or believe that we should matter or our voices matter. So, in Trump, we trust. Fuck you, you fucking morons.
Are leaving. All those passionate people who showed up on January 6th.
No.
They would not show up again in the current environment, in my opinion.
No, you're fucking right.
I can think of no better example than Owen Schroyer. This is someone who went to jail for January 6th.
Come here.
He was such a dedicated supporter that he went to jail for Trump. He held rallies for Trump. He went to protests for Trump. But now he has changed his mind. This is Owen Schroyer from a few months ago.
I'm not fighting for these liars. I'm not fighting for this administration anymore. I'm done. I'm out. They broke up with us. They stabbed us in the back. They betrayed us. Not the other way around. We don't owe them anything. They owe us everything. They work for us. In case you forgot.
They did. They did.
Mike Johnson at the event this weekend. Oh, they're coming to impeach Trump. Oh, you don't say. You don't say, Little Johnson. You don't say, Tiny Johnson.
Cooper.
You mean the Republicans are going to lose the midterms and they're going to impeach Trump? Well, golly gee. I could have sworn somebody was saying that 6 months ago, and you called them panikins. Isn't that funny?
These comments were made before Trump started the conflict in Iran. Now he's even more upset. And this is how a lot of Trump supporters feel. Trump could fix all of this if he just returns back to the people who put him in office.
People reading from a script. I just cannot stand it. It's so ingenuine and inauthentic. Like, the only time I would ever write a script is if I actually wanted to, like, get information out there that I didn't actually personally have all informed in my brain, written out, like, perfectly ready to just spit out at you. I honestly, I have a script written about our Second Amendment rights, and I'm going to record a video and post it pretty soon because we all need to know our Second Amendment rights, what we do and don't have the right to possess, you know? And that's the only time I would ever use a script, though. Like, the fact that he needs to write out a script, it bothers me. When I see people reading from a script, I lose interest immediately. It's just so inauthentic and ingenuine. I can't fucking stand it.
In the first place. Change his direction. Change his policies. Direct his staff to follow through on all the promises that he made. There are some really easy things he could do that would make people happy.
He doesn't care.
For starters, Donald Trump should give Owen Schroyer a call and ask him for advice, because his current advisors are obviously giving him bad information. If Trump can win back Owen Schroyer, he can win back everyone else.
Why is it?
Now, if you watch my channel...
Like, why would he even say that? If Trump can win back Owen Schroyer, he can win back everyone else. Why? Why would he win back everyone else just because he wins back one person's opinion? Like, that one person literally can manipulate the masses to be won back onto Trump's side? I don't get that. That is so fucking creepy, the way he said that. If he can get one person back on his side, he can get the rest of us. Like, we're just gonna all fall in line? We're just gonna all fall in line because Owen Schroyer actually, like, supports you again? What the fuck is wrong with people? Think for yourselves. We all have our own brains in our fucking heads. Why can't we just all use them? We do not need somebody else to tell us how to think and behave and feel. And just because one person is going to change their mind and support Trump again doesn't mean that everybody else is just going to comply and fall in line, Zach. Like, that's fucking creepy that you would even say that.
Know that I'm generally supportive of Trump.
God, dude.
I recently gave him a grade of B+ for his performance in his first year. In general, I think that people should be patient and give him more time to achieve his goals.
Be patient?
But I'm also realistic.
You want us to be patient,
I realize that most people are not as understanding as I am. I am very concerned that he's about to be...
He's going to lose a lot of people. Just the shit that he's been coming out with lately, man. He's lost me. Not that I matter. I'm just one person, but you just sound so ignorant, Zach. You honestly do. Like, I liked you. I liked you, buddy. I really did. I followed your videos. I would every time you had a new video come out, thought you were just dropping bombs all over the place. But, like, I'm just sadly disgusted by your recent content and your recent comments made about these people. And it shows who you work for.
Impeached unless he changes course. Just to emphasize, Donald Trump is only 16 percentage points away in job approval rating and 7 senator votes away from impeachment. I want to end with this. J.D. Vance, let me give you some advice. No matter what happens,
this is the only smart thing
do not select Erica Kirk to be your vice president.
Now
I want to hear from you. Do you think that Trump should change direction? Let me know in the comments down below. And if you like this video, don't forget to hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on future videos.
Let's read the comments below. Okay, guys, let's read those comments below. Okay. No, Oscar, hold on a minute, buddy. Let's read these comments below. Okay. Wait, shit. Right here, comments. All right, well, this is me. The first couple are me. The Democrats won the next election when Trump called the Epstein files a Democrat hoax. Fuck him. This is also me. Trump was popular till he abandoned his voters. This is bullshit. Those approval ratings are a hoax, you know, kind of like the one he called the Epstein files, but a real one this time. This is the next one. What an absolutely horrifying thought to have Erica Kirk as a vice president. If voting made a difference, they wouldn't let us do it. Mark Twain. I choked on my coffee when you said EK could become president. What a nightmare. Every politician is a snake in the grass. No matter who you vote for, you get President Netanyahu. Watergate was a CIA Zionist coup. Nobody wants war except the people who cash in from it. If Larry Ellison is owning... Hey, it's all right. If Larry Ellison is owning CNN now, I wouldn't trust any polls coming out of there. Operation Epstein Fury gave many people a wake-up call. Oscar, it's all right. Nobody's out there. I feel like most of the people of the world want peace. War is a racket. We didn't vote for Palantir either. Lindsey Graham is a traitor. I don't know how he keeps getting elected. This freaking entire Congress needs to work for we the people. I am sick and tired of all of them. Trump lost me at, are we still talking about the Epstein files? Trust is broken. The polls are being manipulated. As long as Trump does Israel's bidding, no news orgs are going to let his poll show the unpopularity of this war. Good grief. Please do not let Erica get into public office. Wish we could impeach them all. Don't trust politicians. Don't trust any feds. Don't trust anyone who puts political affiliation above everything else. Erica Kirk is a complete joke. She would be another Kamala Harris. I vote for Trump, but he needs to be impeached or step down, and Erica Kirk should not be a part of the election in any shape or form. Whatever happened to TPUSA's nonprofit company status? Aren't they a 501c3? Not able to support a political opponent, and yet the CEO is volleying to become president? Why exactly do I pay taxes when no one else has to? Scary thought. Bride of Chucky as president of the USA. Oh wow, I never thought of EK as president. What a horrible thought. Based on all we have learned about EK's history, background, and parental connections, the possible scenario is terrifying. Add to it, JD's hidden backers have their own agenda too. The pair together, wow, I never thought that our country could ever get this entangled in this much trash. Dems put the TPUSA's check on hold, denying fund to Homeland Security, and today they argue it's Republicans' fault. This war has all kinds of manipulation. Every corner we look into. Stay strong and vigilant, Zach. Thank you for your work. Any president that weakens our country and jeopardizes the order should be impeached, regardless of which side of the aisle they're on. There should be rules and laws for politicians who start doing the exact opposite of what they promised and were elected to do. Too many of them just switch on a dime in second they get in office. I will absolutely not vote for Vance Kirk ticket. No way. She gives me the very bad vibes. No for Eric Kirk. I will never vote for a ticket with evil Erica on it. 3 ex-Trump voters who's done with the wars. He's a 3 ex-Trump voter done with the wars. I'm not sure that JD Vance would pick Eric Kirk. Her popularity is already down the toilet. He is not popular anymore, my dude. He's a traitor to the American people. See, like, really? You want to say that his approval rating is at fucking even 41%? That's a joke. Kirk should never be vice president. She's a mess. I'm a never Erica. The day after the 2016 election, I had a doctor appointment. My doctor was very upset about Trump winning. I said I was happy. That's all I said. She screamed at me for an hour and then told me to leave. She then tracked down my social media. Hey, Cooper, stop. You just went out. Come here. You're okay. Hold on a minute. I'm coming. I gotta go take care of them. But I even emailed Tucker about it, and to my surprise, he emailed me back. A lot of people had their lives ruined or changed forever just for supporting him. I was lucky. Now there's a war for no reason, and Asia is already suffering with an energy crisis. People are having to work from home. Schools are at a 3-day week, and they've started energy rations in South Asia. He needs to turn things around fast. Lastly, Erica Kirk would be an even bigger problem if in office. The Republican Party would be over. This is me again. Good. Hopefully it does work. He needs to go. It's like they are trying to convince Charlie Brown to let Lucy to hold the football again. If J.D. Vance doesn't answer to his handlers and choose Erica Kirk as VP, he will be eliminated anyway. He made a deal with the devil. We need a full regime change of the executive, Congress, and intelligence agencies. Absolutely. The left and the right are on the same team. They are on Team Israel, Team Destroy America. They are a false dichotomy or controlled opposition for each other. See what I mean? Like, I'm not just, like, making this shit up. We do not support this war, Zach. We do not support the approval rating that Trump is doing. I would probably give him a 20% approval rating right now, but that's just because these 20% of people are fucking shills, and they will fucking literally follow him to the edge of the earth, and if he says to jump off the edge, they would. So, let's just fucking get that straight right now, okay? This is a huge psyop we're all being fucking played into and made to believe one thing is a certain way, but I think that we have the discernment enough as spiritual, intelligent, biological beings to discern the truth from the fucking fake, false narrative that we're being told. Okay? I truly believe that. I know that I do, and I pray to God that the more people like that start waking the fuck up and realizing, like, it doesn't matter if you vote for a R or a D. They are all gonna suck Netanyahu's dick at the end of the day, and they're all gonna fucking turn their backs on you and fucking spit in your fucking face when you think when and make you feel like they're gonna represent you, and when you need them the most, they are gonna turn their fucking back on you. Just like Trump did to his voters when he downplayed the severity of the Epstein files. How dare you? How dare these fucking people? How do they even sleep at night is what I want to know. They're so fucking corrupt. And I can't believe it. I just can't believe it. It's truly a disgrace. And I'm going to leave it at that. Okay. Take care, everybody. And God bless America. God bless America. We need a miracle at this point because this corrupt shit is never going to stop until we force it to stop. We need to force it to stop.